put these in the kitchen, and you're like, David was lovely at National Tiles. That really basically, nice. We're trying to decide now, do we go cheap? Or spend like 3 times the amount, but have something that's solid and going to last. So at the moment, we're thinking about the more expensive ones, but it's going to add a lot of cost. So I don't know, we need to think about this a bit more. Okay, so David was lovely at National Tiles. Really nice bloke, but unfortunately when I say we, Bo, has found the same tiles we were just looking at that were around $58 per square meter on special.
So my next step is to go and see if they've got a showroom that we can go and visit. I'm a bit hesitant about buying things just online, especially for such a large item like tiles, where it's going to take up our whole floor space. So I want to go and visit it, touch it, feel it, and then compare it with my memory from the other tile shops I've visited.
Okay, so we're doing a bit of planning today on the laptop in between jobs at work. And the reason we're doing that is we realized that there has been a bit of an oversight in where our septic system is going and how that matches our pier design with the engineer. So what happened was we originally got our septic system designed and gave that information to the engineer. The engineer then designed the piers based on where the septic system would be going. And the reason it's important to do it in those steps is that once the septic system design is done, you give that to the engineer, and then based on where the septic tank goes, the engineer will essentially just make a deeper pier hole near the septic tank. It's one of the requirements. So I think we have a 2-meter pier hole closest to that septic tank, and pretty much every other pier hole is 1.5 meters. So that's why it's important to definitely get your septic design done before going to the engineer. However, we had the septic designer come back to us because originally we got approved for an AES system, just the brand that we were going to use for the septic, but council is no longer approving those. So we found out basically that we had to change tank, and because the new septic tank is bigger than the old septic tank, the location actually had to change on the block too. So it can no longer be on one side, it has to move to the other side so that there's enough clearance and spaces and from boundaries and everything like that. But because we'd already had the design done with the engineer, the deeper pier hole is obviously on the wrong side of the block now, because that deeper pier hole had to be close to the septic tank. So I've been going back and forth with the septic designer and also back to the engineer. I've just sent him off an email asking if we can just tweak the design ourselves so that because the septic tanks just literally change from one side of the block to the other, can we just make that new location, that pier hole deeper to 2 meters? Because obviously that's the new location that's closest to that septic tank. So I'm hoping the engineer comes back and says, yes, no worries, that makes sense, rather than having to do a whole pier design again, because the pier design with the engineer, that combined with our landslide risk assessment cost about $2,000. So if we had to get the piers only designed again, maybe we'd be up for another $1,000, which I really would rather not spend. But yeah, it's been a bit of a juggling act. Like, these things come up, and even if you plan really well, like we did the right thing, we got our septic design first and then went back to the engineer, things can happen that you don't expect. Like, for example, this existing system, the AES septic system, no longer being approved with council, like, we couldn't have foreseen that. But yeah, it means that we're having to try and adjust plans now, which is a bit hard, but yeah, hopefully the engineer comes back and just gives us the go ahead and the green light, because the piers hopefully will be being done, in the next month or so. So yeah, you have to kind of keep on top of things. I've been using ChatGPT to really help me, like, where I can. So it was very cool. I asked ChatGPT to create me a task list that basically I click a button and it updates to have like my to-do list at the top with the most urgent tasks at the top, and then when it's completed, move all my tasks to the bottom, and stuff like that. And it's pretty cool what it's created, so I'm going to share that with you. It's been very helpful for me because I find, like, everyone's different, but when I try and keep everything in my head, and I've got a lot going on, I get super overwhelmed, and also I forget things for sure. Like, some people are good at that. It's definitely not for me. I have to have a list. So basically I've got this Excel spreadsheet now that runs like macros, they call it, in the background. You can just click the button, it updates my task list, and I can make sure I'm on top of everything. And it's really cool. So I'll share that in this video. But I think there's something really good about also when you complete a task, the fact that it moves to the bottom of the list and it like highlights in green. It's like something I don't know if it's psychological or something, but you can see that you're making progress and you're seeing how much you're doing. Because sometimes I think whether we're moving through a lot of tasks and those sorts of things, you don't necessarily feel like you're being productive and you forget what you've actually done. But it's a great way to feel like you're actually making progress. And I want to start sharing some of these planning tools that we're coming up with and using, because like when it comes to planning, it is super important. And also because things change on the go all the time, like with this septic design, for example, you'll find that you have to just constantly adapt, and new tasks will come up that you just have to jump on quickly. Because if you don't, this is a good tip, like once you get something you have to follow up on, you have to follow up on it straight away. Definitely just be proactive, don't leave things to reply, don't procrastinate. If you can stay on top of things, just expect that other people will be slower, and then you might like move at a reasonable speed. We're just in here having a look at tiles, and we've just spoken to the guy and he said that porcelain's definitely cheaper. Like these are $14.95 a square meter, whereas you're looking at like up to $40-50 a square meter for, is it ceramic? Ceramic, I think. So ceramic, yeah. But it feels a lot better. And like even if you like tap on this, it feels pretty fragile. And he was saying if you put these in the kitchen and you like drop something on it, they'll break really easy. So we're trying to decide now, do we go cheap? Or spend like 3 times the amount but have something that's solid and going to last. So at the moment we're thinking about the more expensive ones, but it's going to add a lot of cost. So I don't know, we need to think about this a bit more, but we're going to go for a lighter color so that basically it makes the space feel big. So bigger tiles, lighter color, and then the kitchen we might make something like a light green if it doesn't look ugly, we'll see. But yeah, we want to light tiles, big tiles, hopefully it makes the space feel really big. So we've just got back from National Tiles, and shout out to David from the Alexandria store in Sydney. He's a legend, was super helpful in terms of what to think about when choosing tiles. Okay, so David was lovely at National Tiles, really nice bloke, but unfortunately when I say we, Bo, has found the same tiles we were just looking at that were around $58 per square meter on special for a whole lot less. So through an online tile company. So maybe we'll have to order through them. Let's have a look.
And as you can see here, porcelain, and I'm looking for the thickness, so 10 mil, essentially. I'm not sure what any of this means here, but I can find out soon when I ask Chad to give me an understanding. But this is very similar here. This is from the factory outlet. It's porcelain, it's indoor outdoor matte. It's 600 by 600 mil, which is exactly the same. But I need to know the thickness because I want to make sure that it's the same. It's going to be a perfect match because it looks almost identical. So my next step is to go and see if they've got a showroom that we can go and visit. I'm a bit hesitant about buying things just online, especially for such a large item like tiles, where it's going to take up our whole floor space. So I want to go and visit it, touch it, feel it, and then compare it with my memory from the other tile shops that we've visited so far.
Yeah, plus we talked about this and we actually think the tiles are going to be one of the more important features of the home. Because if you get nice big tiles, they're light, bright and airy.
Yes.
They can add a lot of space and volume to the house, hopefully.
Unfortunately, the service we got at National Tiles was fantastic. The gentleman there, David, was able to give us so much inspiration. But if you're talking between $26 per square meter and $69 per square meter, it's just not a practical decision.
Doesn't fit the
us.
budget.
Yeah, it doesn't fit the budget, despite how helpful they were. If they were much more comparable on price, for sure would have gone with them 100%. So if you look at the cost here, so this is 26, which is kind of crazy. This one here is probably the better one because it actually looks more similar to it. It's $26 per square meter. So 26 by 85, just as a base. We're gonna add in 10 to 15% for wastage. But let's just go off the whole top floor plan. $2,210 versus $5,865.
Yeah, I vote the cheaper tile.
Definitely make sure you're looking at the porcelain instead of the ceramic tiles, because I think it would be easy when you're looking at lots of different tiles to just look at a ceramic tile and compare it with a porcelain one, thinking it's a lot cheaper, it's better, but they're a different product. Like I said, it's a lot more fragile, they chip easier and everything like that, which is fine if that's what you're happy with. But yeah, we really want porcelain. If we can get them for $26 a square meter, we've already saved literally 50%, more than 50%. So that's excellent. And it just goes to show how good ChatGPT is. If you can use it and you start using it, it definitely can help you just get information a lot faster, sort through information, compare products through different prompts. It's just really helpful. So I'm gonna pop 3 different porcelain tiles we like up. Let me know which one's your favorite. And if you don't like any of them, don't let me know, because we like these ones. But if you do like one, let me know in the comments below. Oh, and one more thing, the engineer did get back to us, and we can simply just make the pier hole closer to the new septic tank location deeper. So we don't have to pay for a new design. So yeah, very happy not to spend another $2,000. Yeah, the engineer's been great. So.
We had been working away in Sydney, but less than 2 weeks after picking up the tiles, I had to make an unexpected trip to Brisbane to visit our block.
So I made it to the pickup location, and I've just got to find wherever mine is. We finally found each other, a bit stressful, airport pickup.
I don't mind being in this video.
Yeah. So were you helping me out for the weekend? Okay, so we've got conduit cutters, earth cable, builder's strap. Okay, it is so hot on the island today. I just got off the vehicle ferry. Mum hopped off at Lamb Island, that's where she lives. So she hopped off there, she just walked off the ferry, and I've got her car today. So shout out to Mum for coming all the way from the Sunshine Coast to Brisbane Airport to pick me up today, and to lend me the car for the weekend to do this work. Yeah, she's amazing, she really helps out, and she definitely deserves a shout out. So the plan for this weekend is just to get all of the electrical work for the power pole done, so that Energex will come and connect it for us. Energex is the grid operator in Queensland. They're the ones that will come and connect a new connection, but the electrician has to have all of the work done so that essentially the switch box is ready and the meter can go in after that. So it's a bit of a process, and I have to admit that Bo may have suggested a few weeks ago that we be more organized and have this ready to go. And actually at that time, we were already up this way. We could have done the switchboard then and everything like that. But I was a little bit stubborn and wanted to enjoy our holiday. We had like a few days at the beach, but he was right. We should have got it done then. So yeah, so now I've come this weekend just for that job. I thought we could have come up and finished the electrical box when we actually come up full time for the build. But the problem is, I've heard some horror stories about people waiting for Energex for weeks, if not months sometimes, for certain situations. And yeah, we don't want to be trying to do our build without power and waiting for Energex. It would be a huge hold up for the whole entire build basically. So happy to admit I was wrong on this one. We should have got the electrical box done earlier. So shout out to Bose on that one. But yeah, hopefully we can get it all done today and tomorrow. So I've just arrived on our block, and you can see we've now got a power pole, and we've also got a water meter here. So this is my job tomorrow, basically switchboard here, and all of the conduits running up with the cables to the top, ready for Energex to hook it up. Okay, so one tip I really want to give you with electrical is if you're getting a board put in, make sure, whether it be, if you're a private power pole or a builder's switchboard, a temporary one, get your electrician to put in at least a few of these. So these are DIN rail mounted power points. You can get them in both 10 and 15 amp. You're definitely going to want to have a lot of power while doing your build. So getting a few of these extra put in, it's not going to cost you much extra with the electrician, but I guarantee you, you will want them. You're going to use a lot of power, so you want to make sure you've got all the power you need during your build. And actually this also applies, it's a great tip for when you're building your house. You can never have too many power points. The amount of houses I go to and people say, oh, I wish I had to put a point there, can you run it in for me? And then it costs 5 times as much because the electrician has to go and like run it through the roof, run it down the walls when the plaster's already on. So do yourself a favor, definitely put in lots of power points. Basically just over engineer how many power points you need for your home, and I don't think you'll regret it. You can see here this switchboard came pre-made, which is much easier for me. Basically I just have to run all the cables up to the top of the pole. At the very top up there'll be like what they call a mains connection box mounted on a bracket. All the cables will run in a conduit down through that into the switchboard, waiting for Energex to come and connect it up. So it's pretty simple. It's only going to take me a few hours. And this is what you'll need your electrician to do if you're in Queensland. Other states, very similar probably with different providers, different networks. And just keep in mind though that the regulations and everything like that and how everything is done does differ a little bit between states. Okay, so maybe it goes without saying, but I just wanted to add quickly, definitely don't do your own electrical work or plumbing. Get licensed tradespeople to come and do that for you. The only reason I'm doing mine is because I'm an electrician by trade. This is what I do. I think it makes sense to do as much as we can as owner builders, but with electrical, you don't want to take any chances. So I just thought I'd make that clear in the video. I'm an electrician, so I'm not just DIYing this. And just be careful when it comes to electricity and with plumbing, and even with other things as well you're not sure on. Don't be afraid to ask for help. If you need to pay for an extra pair of hands and some experience, it's definitely worth it. We plan on doing that even with our peers, just to make sure that our home is all level, all the concreting's correct. We wouldn't want to stuff that up and get an inspection done and find out we have to rip all the concrete up or something. It's definitely not worth it. Okay, so I've just finished the switchboard. You can see behind me here. The cable's running all the way up to the mains box at the top, earth stake at the bottom, so it's all been done. I do have a confession to make. That took me way longer than it should have. I had to run back to the hardware quite a few times because I was missing tools, which I wasn't expecting. I thought I had everything yesterday when I checked over everything, but because I've brought all my tools up in my suitcase for the weekend, it's so easy to forget things. So I found, there were just little things I was missing, like tin snips. I didn't get enough saddles, for example, for the conduit. So anyway, it will be much easier once all the tools are here, stored in a container on the block, once we're doing the build full time. But it goes to show how much it can slow you down when you don't have everything you need. I reckon I probably lost about 1 to 2 hours across the whole day, just because I didn't have everything I need. But the good news is it's done now. So now it's time to pack up. And the next project before the ferry goes back across this afternoon is to even out some land over here, so that we can get a shipping container put in, because I really want one there so that we can store all our tools safely, put the kit in there as well, keep everything out of the weather. It's kind of a must-have. So that's the next thing, and then it's packing up for the day, which I'm, to be honest, looking forward to because it's very hot. I spent the rest of the afternoon getting my hands dirty on the shovel, and you could tell it had been very dry on the island for quite some time because the dust was intense. We've got perfect level for where our shipping container is going to go. So that was a lot of hard work for a couple of hours, and you can't even tell with the camera, but that's now a little flat pad for our shipping container. So I just wanted to say a quick thank you to everyone who has subscribed, left a comment, or liked the video. It really does go a long way, and when I first started this channel, I wasn't expecting it to really take off at all. I just wanted to share our journey, and it's been great to see the community that's come from that. So if you haven't already subscribed, please do. It goes a long way in helping us, and it's really motivating as well for me to see new subscribers. It shows that people like the videos we're producing. Thank you very much if you've already subscribed. If you haven't subscribed yet, and you do like the channel, please do. It's the one free and simple thing that really helps keep me motivated in creating new and exciting content. So thank you. Oh, and one more thing. We hit a huge milestone this week of 3,000 subscribers, which is really cool. I didn't really think that was possible, but it's amazing to see, so thank you. One of the things we wanted to do is create a survey that you can fill out to essentially help shape the future content of our channel as well. So if there's certain content or topics you want us to cover, you can leave the feedback there. I'm going to put below this video a link to the website, and at the bottom of our homepage is a form you can fill out. And the form has questions asking about which content you've liked the most, and there's a spot there where you can just add some text if there's a certain topic you want us to look at. So we can continue to create the content that you want to see, and you can also help shape the future of our channel, which I think is pretty cool.